Hello, the big news today is a change in the Crown Prince in Saudi Arabia. My name's Colin Foreman, the Deputy Editor of MEED, and I'm joined by MEED's Power and Water Editor, Andrew Roscoe. And we're quickly going to run through what's happened today. Andrew, big news this morning. What's happened?
So, big news for the region this morning is King Salman has replaced the Crown Prince. He's replaced his nephew, Mohammed bin Nayef, with Mohammed bin Salman, who's his son. He was the Deputy Crown Prince. Now he's promoted him to Crown Prince, so he'll be next in line to the throne.
And do we think this was a surprise? Mohammed bin Salman's taken a very active role in a lot of the main initiatives in the kingdom over the last couple of years. Everything from Vision 2030 to military campaign in Yemen. But were we particularly surprised by this move?
It's not surprising at all. I mean, since April 2015, the first shake-up, and that's where King Salman replaced the then Crown Prince Mukrin, and then he brought his son Mohammed bin Salman to Deputy Crown Prince. Since then, you know, everybody knew this was coming at some point. Mohammed bin Salman's only 31 years old, very young, but he's played a major role in a lot of areas of Saudi's internal and foreign policy. As you mentioned, as Defence Minister, he sort of led the war in Yemen. Other issues, the Saudi 2030 vision, which was the big economic reform programme launched last year. He's played a driving role behind that. And so I think it was going to happen, but I guess the interesting thing is why now?
Yeah, there's been quite a few things that have happened in terms of timing, really, if we think about it. I think if we look at the recent visit of Donald Trump to Riyadh, there's been quite an emboldened Riyadh since then. They've taken a more aggressive view with regard to Qatar. And now there seems to have been another major move taken in Saudi Arabia. So I think we can see Saudi Arabia making some quite big decisions since that Trump visit. There's also been a little bit of talk in Saudi Arabia about maybe there being a difference of opinion about how Qatar's treated in the last couple of weeks. So maybe that was a factor in play as well. So very interesting timing, I think.
Sure. Well, I think that's right. I was there for Trump's visit recently, and what was evident was that the kingdom is really opening up now. They invited 500 journalists to cover the event. Mohammed bin Salman has done a series of high-profile interviews with international media, and I think that's part of he knows that the country needs to reform, and to achieve its economic reform programme targets, they need to open up to the world's media and to encourage and to investors. And I think this step was widely anticipated, but yeah, it's interesting.
I think the other important thing is just for people looking at what happens next. I think it really is not a major surprise to most people, and I think that means there's not going to be much uncertainty that comes out as a result of this. So I think it's going to be generally considered as business as usual, certainly compared to what's been going on in the last couple of years. And if anything, probably reinforces the view that a lot of the reforms and policies that Mohammed bin Salman has been championing will go through.
I mean, yes, but Mohammed bin Salman, as we've said, he's been driving a lot of the policy already. However, this sort of cements his position now, and as they move ahead with, whether it's a privatisation programme at home or foreign policy decisions, that's just cemented his position.
And if we look further forward ahead, he's now next in line to the throne in Saudi Arabia. Very young man, still in his early 30s, which could mean that Saudi Arabia is looking forward to a period of a very long reign in the not too distant future.
Sure. I mean, well, yes, the Saudi kings have traditionally been in their 70s and 80s. So Mohammed bin Salman, 31 years old, and I think that can be seen as a real sign of change, or the real potential for change. I think probably a lot of young Saudis will be excited by this, and we're seeing a move towards young leaders globally. Obviously the Emir in Qatar, in his 30s as well, and even in France we've got Macron, the French president, in his late 30s. So I think now, yeah, a young leader, he's got a vision for the future, and I think that will be welcomed by a lot of young Saudis.
All right, thank you very much, Andrew. I hope that sheds some light on what's happened this morning, and I look forward to speaking to you again shortly.